easy. But if you look in the bulletin on about page 10, you will see adult study led by Don Eitzman. That's an announcement that's been in our bulletins for years. Today is the last day that Don will be worshiping with us. And so it's important to make some comments about his influence and history in our church. If you look on the web, you'll see Donald Eitzman, MD, and it says Donald Eitzman is a founding member of the College of Medicine and of the Department of Pediatrics at UF. In 1959, Don came to Gainesville, and it goes on to talk about his establishment in 1963 of the Newborn Intensive Care Unit, which was the first neonatal care unit in a hospital in Florida. So he's a pioneer at Shands. He took a sabbatical in 1967, 1968 to go to England and work on neonatal care there. And that's just a little bit of an enormously distinguished academic record. But maybe more importantly for us, he is the last living founding member of this church. 1966, there began what is called a chapel in those days. Nowadays, we would call it a new church development. It was a spinoff from First Presbyterian Church downtown. It was organized as a church in October of 1968. I have the great joy of having been part of that, but I was not part of the development from 1966 to 1968. Don was on the first session of this church. I went and looked up the minutes. It's November 4th or 5th, something like that, 1968, and one of the names there is Donald V. Eitzman. Until a few months ago, he was a member of the choir. I've already mentioned the church school class. He was also a member of the governing board for several years, but I didn't take the trouble to look it up, of what was then Presbyterian Student Center at 1402 West University. And in 1981 through 1983, he was a missionary in Taiwan. And he took medical students to Nicaragua as part of Witness, but also to train them in how to do basic medical care in essentially primitive or very underdeveloped conditions. He's also a remarkably good cook. I had several delightful meals with him and Mary Lou at home. And when we were taking food to Grace Marketplace, he took it in great volumes, but it was still very good. And most of you don't know this, he and Wendell Stainsby were experts on Volkswagen microbuses. Wendell lived right around the corner from Don. And my microbus benefited from their ministrations. I'm sure I've forgotten some other important traits. Don's moving to be near two of his sons in Minnesota because that's better for him and it's better for them. It's a loss for us, but it's a loss in some sense we should celebrate because Don continues to witness. So Don, we pray Godspeed in your change to a new home, in a new place, but closer at least to some of your family. This is not a complaint, but a deeply respectful compliment. Your departure will be a huge loss for Westminster and for each of us individually. We're grateful for your steadfast witness. I got to get through this sentence. For what you have given Westminster and the larger church, what you have taught us, for your meals and for your friendship. Again, with love and with our prayers, Godspeed.